Where the overlap is in traffic terms, like where they congregate online, is what I became really good at. Finding the traffic, the research. I mentioned to you that I have a dialer. So when I sold my company, it was just about a year ago. I think this month it'll be a year ago. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that?
The only question I have is, how did you rank all those leads? Are you ranking them individually by where they come from?
By source ID. I'll give you an example. So if one network, let's say it's a CPA network, because we did this with CPA networks as well. If one network had one publisher, there's a publisher that can crank out some BizOp leads. So they sign up, and you got some other small webmasters, and I got all these different IDs coming in from that one network. It's a source ID on a lead, right? So it goes into all of these open orders, right? I don't deliver any one batch to one person. They're kind of mixed up. And if you see, a lot of returns, we would set up the customer profile. If anything over 10% return would get flagged, our customers. So a red flag would go off if they returned over 10%. Now, our customer service would start calling the leads, look at the source IDs associated with that customer order. If they ordered 100 leads or 25 leads, they returned 25% of that order, our customer service would start calling their leads. It was pretty easy to see if they were abusing our system. We basically came out with a pitch, what if you never had to pay for a bad lead again? It's pretty powerful. Nobody had ever done that. Nobody had ever had lead stores. Now everybody does. The lead company now that leads to wealth will do about $30 million in lead sales in MLM in the MLM vertical. Diet and BizOp. That's all it is. Diet is this. Sorry about that.
Was Lead Store, you said, one of the ones you did?
Lead Store? No, Lead Store is not. This is our diet offer. Sample pack, do about 400,000 of those a month.
Wow.
And the leads sell for about $4 each, $4.50.
Wow.
To a distributor.
What's that domain?
That is just a sample domain. It's a healthy free sample. It's not really a live offer. So this goes to, those are Herbalife products. Herbalife's culture is all about buying leads. Herbalife and Amway, in my opinion, have the same recognition and stigma, right? Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Good or bad? I mean, it's so when you say Herbalife on here, it's not going to be a selling point. Mm-hmm. So we don't. And when somebody gets a pack, this is the BizOp. Well, that's one of my calling sites. So the BizOp.
Is it because it's bad vibes, or is it actually illegal for the MLMs to advertise and generate leads online?
Depends on who you're talking to. Corporate, they're going to tell you, they want to protect their brand, and prepaid legal, and some companies are really stingy about letting anybody say anything about the brand. So you'd have to say legal services or prepaid legal. There's certain things you'd have to do. But they don't want Herbalife or the brand, being said.
Is this like cutting edge media? Is it kind of the same type?
God, no, let's hope not. Cutting Edge Media has been the 800-pound gorilla in the industry. They've been around longer than anybody, and they were the easy pickings. When I got into business, there was stiff competition. They were the big ones that were doing over $20 million a year, and I don't think they're even doing that anymore. Basically, they've rested on their laurels, and there's a lot of companies coming up that are, there's probably not many lead companies that are doing over $10 million a year. There's definitely a handful now in this space. But Cutting Edge Media has the magazine, and they basically have lost a lot of business to more ambitious companies.
Did you provide leads to lead vendors as well?
That's where I started. So Lead Spring, I started out as a wholesaler. So I basically said, look, I embraced my competition, and I said, look, this is what I'm doing. I can help provide leads to you. There's always two problems in the lead business. I don't care what industry or vertical you're in. You either got too many leads or you don't have enough. My goal was to solve both of them. So I always say I've always been in the business of selling to those who sell tools, picks, and shovels. If you can provide a better way to sell for somebody, you're golden. It's the easiest person to sell to, actually. So, I mean, salesperson. I'm an easy sell. You show me some better way, like I'm there. I'm sold. I'm easy to sell, right? If you can show me a better way to sell, I'll buy it. Most people will. So, okay. So this offer is. This is the online business. TheOnlineBusiness.com. If you do a compete on it, you'll see the traffic's gone down since I left, but it's about around 1,800,000 a month. And there's a lot of change. It's not because I left. It's because they've changed to a lot of TV and radio. So the whole goal, when I say where do you find good leads, and I was asking Michael, where do you find good MLM leads? You basically don't. I mean, I think all leads, when it comes to free inquiry leads, are the same. Somebody's asking for free information, there's no difference in the lead. That's why Taj will tell you later on, he doesn't do what he calls soft offers. Soft offers are just free information. Unless you're creating a buyer, it's not a good lead. It's not a buyer is a great lead. In some of them, there's degrees of buyers that are greater than others, but when you're creating a free inquiry lead, send me free information, it's just a hodgepodge of some good, some bad, most are not good. That's just the way it is. So in the lead business, which the media buying that I did was different than, let's say, like Carlos and Lupe or some people that are promoting their media buying activities, because I had an end customer in mind. My leads, my offers, this offer in particular, this is the radio version, Income at Home. There's a back-end buyer for that lead already. And you can only do so many of them. There's only so much media that you can push and so much, you hit a wall. So what you have to do is you have to work free inquiry leads. You have to have free leads that you're trying to always get to become a buyer. You have to do a balance of both. So even though I know free looky-loo leads and list building is like the lowest quality process that I could actually deal with, it's still where if I hit a wall and I can only do 10, 20,000 buyer leads a month, what am I going to do? You can't tell a distributor, stop, just only depend on these when you can't get them. You have to have an alternative balance. And that's where, magnetic sponsoring or, getting MLM results applies. Generating your own leads, empowering distributors or empowering people to create